It's that time of year again. We are voting for the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. Let me tell you who I'm going to vote for. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me back on my channel, Brewers on Baseball. The YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame is something new that I wandered upon last year. It was started in 2017, I think, by Mike at Baseball Collector. And when I stumbled upon this last year, I really didn't know what the whole concept was about. I found out about it, I threw up a video that had some names on there of channels that I like to watch, and I put it out there for my vote to count. But now this year, I decided to look into it a little bit more. And it was great that somebody put out recently a history of the Sports Card YouTube Hall of Fame. It's just so I could learn more about the origins and what the whole point of it was. And when I first stumbled upon it, it did kind of seem like this old boys club. A bunch of guys only voting for their own friends, especially if you're a vintage baseball card collector. But that might be the case because that's who actually started this whole idea. Really, it can be anything we want it to be. And the more people that get out there and put votes in, we can have a more diverse selection of guys that make it into the Hall of Fame. What I learned from this interview with Mike was the original idea was to honor a lot of those older channels, maybe guys that hadn't been making content in a while, but that really gave Mike his start on YouTube and learning a lot more about the industry and the hobby. And that's a cool idea because I'm new to this YouTube thing. I've only been doing it for a couple years, and I've only been watching since probably the pandemic with a lot of other people that have joined around the same time. So even guys like Mike now are a little bit in that older guard for me of guys that have been doing this for a long time. And he's got the guys that he looked up to that started years before he did. So it's pretty cool to actually see how things have transpired over time. So with that in mind, I decided to think a little bit differently about how I'm going to put my votes out here. There's two different ideas here. One idea is really to celebrate these guys that belong in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame, that have really great channels that have been running for a long time, sort of the inner circle of the Hall of Fame. But really, is that all that it's about? Or is it about sharing which channels you're really enjoying watching as well? What you've been consuming lately and wanting to share that with other people. So to me, there's two different parts here, that inner circle that I talked about, and then the guys that I really just enjoy their channels, but they are guys that I really want to be able to get out there and give to other people to say, hey, check these guys out. They've got pretty cool content as well. And I will say right at the beginning that I don't know any of these people personally. I've spoken with one of them, been on his channel before, but I've never met any of these people face to face. So it's not a friend competition, a popularity contest for me. These are literally the channels that I really enjoy watching. First up, baseball card collector, investor, dealer. I'm not alone here, almost 70,000 subscribers. There's a reason why he has so many. His content is really great. And Chris just seems like a great personality as well. A guy that you definitely want to know in the hobby. If not for his knowledge, also just for the way that he comes across. He's definitely a cool guy. And he's been doing this for a while. He's over 4 years now. So not a long period of time, but definitely long enough to gain a following. Next up for me is Scotty B Cards. This is a type of channel that doesn't get a lot of votes from the Hall of Fame community as it stands right now because it's so heavily skewed toward vintage cards. But Scotty B gives all the information that I need on modern card collecting, which is something that I got out of completely and had to re-educate myself when I was getting back into the modern collecting world just a couple years ago. He's also been doing it for about 4 years, and he's just really easy and fun to watch. Very knowledgeable about the modern card, like I said, and he also does his homework and does his math to really help out the modern collector. Next guy up for me is Mike at Junk Wax Hero. This guy is eligible, I think, for the first time this year. He's just over 3 years of making videos, and another great personality, somebody that's just so much fun to watch. And I love his newsletter too, because it really makes you feel like you get to know more about him personally. So Mike, definitely enjoy the channel. Thanks so much. Next one up for me is Victor, the rookie card specialist. I love Victor's content because he cares so much about the rookie card, and that's something that's important to me too. He makes a stand for what he believes in, and he loves to share it. He's been making videos also for just over 4 years. You'll find a lot of these guys are around that 3 to 4 year range because that's when I really started following them. So again, Victor, I appreciate all that you do for the hobby. And the next guy up on the list is David Gonas. He is over 5,000 subscribers now. He's been making videos for almost 6 years, but The first couple of videos really were just a couple thrown out there, and then he took like a 2-year break. So really 4 years is around the time they started consistently making videos. His personality is infectious. I love this guy. He is great to listen to, and I think he's great especially for newcomers to the hobby. So thanks, David, for providing that service to not only newcomers, but collectors who are on a budget, which is a lot of folks out there. So that is an important part of the market to not ignore. The next guy up for me is Dead Guy Cardboard. I almost left him off this year after voting for him last year because he just doesn't make all that many videos. I think in the last year it's something like 5 or 6. But when I did watch the history video that was recently made, Mike reiterated how it was important to honor those guys that came before you. And really that's what Dead Guy Cardboard was all about for me. I still like going back to watch a lot of his older videos that provide a lot of insight. So I'm definitely going to put another vote for the Hall of Fame for Dead Guy Cardboard. Next guy up for me is a guy that seems to have a lot of overlap with what our interests lie in, and that's Rated Rookie. Another really fun channel to watch, another great guy, leaves a lot of comments on my channel, and I love watching his stuff as well. So definitely support Rated Rookie. He's been around for a while. His first videos were almost 7 years ago, but he's really been able to come on strong in recent years. So really enjoy what you do out there. And coming down to the last couple, the next one for me is Sammy Thunder. I didn't watch a lot of Sammy Thunder. I didn't know much about him last year when I did this video, but I've been watching a lot more this year, and I've really enjoyed his content, especially with how he likes to dive so deep into the details and the history, which is something that I love as well. So Sammy, you got my vote this year. I'm going to watch a lot more of your stuff coming up as well. And then the last one that I'm putting up a vote for this year is A Collector's Dream. This is another one that I've recently found this year, and so I didn't put him up on my vote last year, but I found out that Orlando at A Collector's Dream is a great guy to listen to. He's another guy that his personality is just so soothing, seems like a great guy, and I've really been enjoying listening to him and seeing what he collects. So there are my votes. Check these channels out if you haven't seen them, and stay tuned to find out who gets in this year into the 2025 YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. Take it easy, everybody. Keep talking baseball, and we'll see you around.